Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man. So I'll make this real quick. Um, I'm not gonna, break this fight down just in one video. This time I'm gonna break it down piece by piece. You know what I mean? So I'll be dropping videos periodically, just breaking this fight down, just throwing nuggets out there, and can't wait to converse with you guys about some of the topics I'm gonna bring up when it's concerning this fight. All right. And I'm also not going to get into, you guys know I don't make videos, just, few-minute videos saying he's a bum, he's going to get knocked out in the round. All right. Even though that possibly could happen, one of these guys get knocked out quick. All right. But what I will say is this. I was watching a lot of Jarrell Miller fights today, man. And just fights I've already seen. But just going back over some of his fights tomorrow, I'm going to do a lot. I'm going to watch over a lot of Anthony Joshua fights. I've pretty much seen all of his fights. But I'm gonna watch him again, just breaking this fight down, the style of it. And one thing I was noticing today, well, first off, Jarrell Miller, I'm not saying that he fights exactly like this guy, but the more I watch him, not only in his face does he remind me of him, they kind of look like each other, but his style kind of reminds me of the 90s version of Tim Witherspoon. Now, some of you may disagree with me, and that's fine, but when I was watching that the Witherspoon versus Ray Mercer fight, what reminds me of them is the attack to the body, just the way they set up their punches, especially those body punches, the way they throw hooks and uppercuts, their stance when they're up close fighting, and that cross arm defense. Sometimes Witherspoon would do that, and sometimes he will give you the shoulder and drop his hands and go to the cutie style. You guys kind of know what that is, when guys are making you miss with their hands down, moving their shoulders and trying to move in front of you a little bit and put a work rate on you. All right, so some of those things reminded me of Tim Witherspoon, the 90s version of Tim Witherspoon, because he was a little bit heavier in the 90s and he wasn't as fast in the 90s, in my opinion. But that's kind of like what Jarrell Miller reminds me of, man. But one thing I was noticing, what's good, P Money, what's good, Leo Donald, you guys just joined. Since you guys just joined, man, I'm gonna be doing these videos that you see. This is Jarrell or Anthony Joshua Miller breakdown part 1. I'm not going to do everything just in one video. So for those of you that's going to show up, you're going to say, what about this? What about that? I'm going to get to everything, man. So I'm not going to cover everything in this video. This is just one thing. And I'm curious to read the comments about what I'm talking about. And then we're going to do part 2, part 3, part 4, breaking down Anthony Joshua, the pros and cons, the good and bad, examples in different fights of guys that fight similar to Miller, like a Povetkin and Takam, guys who want to get close and land combinations, guys that are shorter than Anthony Joshua, so on and so forth. All right, but one thing I noticed today when I was breaking down Miller's fights is he cannot, and this is no secret, but he cannot get into a continuity of standing in front of Anthony Joshua and being inert. All right, now what do I mean by that? What do you mean, Mr. Boxing? He cannot stand in front of him and be motionless, man. He cannot. And I think he will do this, and it's all going to come down to, can Anthony Joshua or can Jarrell Miller take Anthony Joshua's power? That's like the big concern to me. Some of you may just say right off the top, nope, he's not going to be able to, and that's fine. But I watched that watched Miller versus Washington, and in the 6th round, it was like the first 30 seconds of the 6th round, and Jarrell Washington was just teeing off on Jarrell Miller, man. Jarrell Miller went to the high guard, even I believe it was a right hook and uppercut that kind of stunned Jarrell a little bit. He wasn't wobbling, but his feet kind of did a little dance. You know what I mean? It wasn't a bad wobble, but it was enough to where he got caught off balance a little bit. Somebody asked me, who said that? Somebody asked me if I'm going to do a breakdown on the heavy bag. Yeah, that's going to be one of the different parts of this series, man. I'm just doing part 1. It's just a little nugget I'm throwing out there. Curious to hear you guys take on it. All right, but yeah, he cannot stand in front of Anthony Joshua and just put the high guard up, man, and just let Anthony Joshua ring off 6, 7, 8 punch combinations, because Bandang Dinu was doing it to him, and Jarrell just put the high guard up and accept the punches and keep coming forward. Now if he can take Anthony Joshua's punches, then this fight's going to be very, very, very interesting, man. But I just don't know, man. I just don't know if he can take the power, man. If he can take the power and he can tire out Anthony Joshua and push him backwards and make Joshua get into a fight to where he has to throw his combinations literally with his feet moving backwards, will his power shots have enough power on them to stop Jarrell Miller in his tracks. One thing I heard Anthony Joshua say, I forgot what interview it was, but he was breaking down his Povetkin fight, and he said that in that fight he was having troubles punching down at Povetkin because we know Povetkin is shorter than him, and Povetkin likes to crouch a little bit. He'll use his jab, have his high guard up. Povetkin, to me, is a intelligent pressure fighter because he can use his jab a little bit, pick his spots, wait his turn. He's not gonna come in and just go full bore, prime Joe Frazier on you. You know what I mean? But what Joshua said to me, or said in the interview that I heard, is he said that he had trouble punching down. So what he did was he just widened his stance a little bit and dropped levels and got down to Povetkin's height. So then therefore he was able to deliver his punches and was able to connect better and have better distance and better range finding Povetkin. All right. Somebody's asking me, what power does Miller have? Bro, I'm not even really getting to that right now. This is going, oh, I guess you're talking to somebody else. But, and that, well, let me touch on that real quick. When people say he doesn't have any power, look, man, now you may say it's the level of competition that he's fighting, but usually when I see somebody that has 23 wins with 20 stoppages or KOs, or the guy didn't come out for the bell or whatever it is, 23 wins with 20 stoppages, that to me, that does not indicate you have no power. It's not like this is some Paulo Malignaggi type of thing where a guy has, 20 to 30 fights with single digit KOs. You dig what I'm saying? Now, does he have this now, do I think he has as much one punch KO power as Wilder and Joshua, things like that? From the outside looking in, no, it doesn't seem like that. But what he does have is he's a relentless body puncher, and those body punches count. You dig what I'm saying? And he's able to, get you into a battle of attrition. He tends to break you down like that. All right. But he's going to have to get to Anthony Joshua's body, man. If he doesn't do that, it may be a massacre. You dig what I'm saying? And Miller may be watching this. I'm cool with Miller, but, I got to keep it real, man. I think if he can't get to that body and really get a body attack to make Joshua drop his head or to make him stop in his tracks a little bit, I just see him possibly walking himself in the uppercuts and straight right hands. You dig what I'm saying? So, yeah, this is just part one, just a small little video. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of these videos, man. But what do you guys think about, if you guys seen the Washington fight, seen the Denu fight, even seen parts of the Wok fight where Miller gets into this, like I said, continuity of putting his hands up, putting his guards up, and, get into the rhythm of, I'm going to take 6, 7 of your punches to land 2 or 3 of mine. Now, Miller does do a lot of little awkward things where some people view it as ineffective, where he'll, and this is why I want to get behind my heavy bag so I can show you what I'm talking about, but he'll drop his hands, he'll kind of bend over with his chin over his front foot, and he'll throw like a hook to the body, a right hook to the body, a right uppercut, and then a double jab. Just these weird type of combinations where he's not putting a lot of power on them, but to me, he's just trying to open you up. He's trying to get your hands out of place. He's trying to get your, pretty much just get your hands out of place, get your guards out of place, get you blocking down and trying to react to all these little PD pat type of filler shots so then he can land his big thudding punches, you know what I mean, and dig into the body. He loves hooks. He throws the wide hooks sometimes. So usually when guys are throwing wide hooks, that leaves you vulnerable to things down the middle and uppercuts. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. What do you guys think about this? What do you think about Miller going to the high guard? So yeah, this pretty much is about his high guard technique that he likes to use, take as many shots to land his shots. Do you think that'd be effective? If you don't think it'd be effective, what are some of the things you think that he can do using the high guard to be effective? Me, like I said, don't take 4 or 5 punch combinations. It's one thing to take 1, 2, but you can't sit in there and take, 6, 7 punch combinations from Anthony Joshua. I just don't see that happening, man. I just don't see it happening. I think he's way too powerful. Think he's way too powerful for that, man. I think what he needs to do is try to get Joshua using his outboxer style that he was using against Povetkin, and that I seen him use against Takam, where he started the jab. I'd rather be in there, if I was Miller, I would rather be in there with the Joshua that's trying to get his jab working than a Joshua that's letting go 6, 7 punch combinations on me. You dig what I'm saying? I'd rather get the Foreman, I see somebody left George Foreman. Chael, yeah. Oh, what's good, bro? He said shoulder roll or cross arm guard like Frazier Foreman. Yeah, he likes to do that, a la what Tim Witherspoon used to like to do, and Archie Moore, so on and so forth. Even James Toney would do it here and there. All right, but um, appreciate the super chat, Marvin Gardens. I appreciate that, bro. Um, but yeah, man, like I said, real quick video. I understand some of you's going to come on the archive and say, why didn't you cover this? Why didn't you cover this? I'm going to start covering a lot of things. Right now, this video is just about Jarrell Miller going in there and trying to, because I know he's going to fight like this, put the high guard up and absorb as many of your shots to land his shots. You dig what I'm saying? So my question to you guys is, how effective do you think that will be? And if you think that's a horrible game plan, what is something that he can do going into this fight pertaining to using the high guard and coming forward? My suggestion would be, don't sit there and take 6-7 punches, man. 1 or 2 at the most, and punch while Anthony Joshua's punching. Go to that body, be relentless to that body. Ronald Finkley, I appreciate that super chat, my brother, respect. But go to that body, be relentless. And one other thing, when he comes forward, angle off. This kind of the advice that I won't say I was giving to him, because who knows if he was listening, but what I was saying about my man Joe Joyce is sometimes you don't have to just, I know you want to put the pressure on, but sometimes you don't have to come just straight forward. You can still be aggressive and put high volume, but angle off to the side. What do you mean by that? I mean, let's say that I'm Anthony Joshua, Jarrell Miller's in front of me. Jarrell's head should be on the outside of wherever he wants to go, whether he wants to dig left or right to Joshua's body or upstairs. Have your head off to the side of Joshua's shoulder. You dig what I'm saying? So if you're over here, have your head over here. Don't just be straight like this, man, because you're setting yourself up. At least make Joshua have to throw across his body. Sometimes you can generate a lot of power thrown across your body as well. So he's gonna have to be careful, man. But to me, what's going to be key, an intricate part of this, is his footwork, and he has to go in there with just a relentless, implacable type of attitude when it comes to digging to that body. But angle off to the side, man. Work your counters, work your attack from the side of Joshua's body and not just right in front of him, and try to push him backwards. Use that big body, use that physicality. All right. I appreciate all you guys showing up, man. This is just a real quick video. I'm gonna be back with more of these, and I'm gonna read all these comments when I upload this video, and see what you guys are talking about in the chat. All right. Appreciate you guys showing up, man. I will be back with more videos. For the person that's showing up saying, why didn't I cover this, cover that, I'm gonna cover a lot. The fight until June 1st, y'all, so we got time to cover everything. I don't want to just throw everything in one video. But you guys